Hello everyone, Penny here, and welcome to day 12 of the 80 Days Junk Journal Stuffies Challenge. And today is a lace-wrapped notelet, and we're going to need some scrapbook paper or digital papers, a lace strip for wrapping, notebook papers, ledger papers, line papers, maybe a time card, a stapler or a sewing machine, maybe a button, maybe a bow, just a focal point, ephemera type piece. So let's get started into making this lace wrapped notelet. And the lace can be flat lace, preferably. It just depends on what you have at your stock at home. So just use what you have at home and come and join me as I make the lace wrapped notelets. Okay, so I have my stapler, I have my scoring board, I have some flat laces, I have journaling cards. I'm going to measure these in just a second. And I have a piece of scrapbook paper. I'll measure that. And I do have an index card, time card if I didn't have a scrapbook paper. But I'm going to use a scrapbook paper because basically these journaling cards are kind of like what I had in mind. Just use what you have, though. Don't, use what you got. If you ordered one of the D-Stash boxes, hopefully there's something in there. I tried my best to put a lot of things in those. Those were shipped out, so hopefully those will be arriving soon to you guys. I have some, no more of the D-Stash boxes. I do have the envelopes. If you're interested, you can message me because this is not a sale group, so you can message me in the other group or whatever. But anyway, I kind of had in mind that this would be a fold little notelet wrapped with lace, and I will show you in just a minute. But I love using these Project Life cards for they make great little covers for mini journals, and they make great little inserts to use like in these little mini notelets. So if you don't have those, don't worry, just use index cards, and if you don't have, just use some regular paper. You can use coffee dye papers, whatever papers. If you want to go for the vintage look and you don't want to use any actual writing paper, you can do all scrapbook paper or all digital papers. It just depends on what you want to do. You can use the index cards. I put some in there in the D-Stash boxes. If you don't have time cards, then you can use just junk mail. Use what you got. Don't go out. Just use your scraps, okay? Don't have to worry about trying to find anything for the 80 Days Challenge. Just try to use what you have at home. If it's a cereal box, cover it up with some craft paper, whatever. Decoupage or collage some pieces on top. It's up to you to, I'm just showing you the basics. You can, decorate it. You can do whatever that you need to. If you can use just junk mail, go for it, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a, isn't that sweet? Just use it as a, guide here. This is a 8-inch by 4.5. So it's 4.5 by 8. Is this piece. Okay, 4.5 by 8. This is about 2.75 by 3.75. I would say almost 4 and almost 3. Let's just say that. So what I'm going to try to do is, this is the middle. 4 is my middle, so I'm going to try to put this card in the middle here. So let's check out the middle of the card the best that we can. Let me find a pencil. So almost 3 to be 1.5, almost 1.5. So we're going to say about right here is the middle. The middle of our big piece is 4, so we're just estimating here, guys. I'm not real big with numbers. Okay, so what we're going to do is I put this piece in the middle. That way I have the same amount on both sides. Without having to actually fold the paper in half. Yeah, I know, a lot of measurements. I'll just guess a lot of times. And I'm going to score it the best I can. Where I think that it would be best. Okay? Do the best. And then I'm just going to fold my scores. So, there we go. So, it's kind of like, let's see what it is. So, it ends up being 3 inches. Woohoo! So, this little first flap here is 2.5. This flap is 3. And hopefully this one will be 2.5 as well. I'm hoping. Yes, it is. So, it's 3, 2.5, 2.5. Okay? That's the measurements. Anytime that I'm giving measurements, rewind, write it down. So this was 2.5, 3, 2.5. That way, I always rewind the videos like a million times. Especially if you watch Bohemian Crafting. She does all the scoring and all that. And then if someone uses inches instead of centimeters and all that, I have to do inches. But other countries, you know, do centimeters and things. So, yeah. So... So, yeah, so rewind, fast forward, and, you know, try to get the measurements the best you can. In other words, just fold it how you want it, as long as it's like this. We're good, okay? I chose some travel paper because I'm working on a design team project for Annabelle & Press, and it was about travel. Isn't this sweet? So, I thought that maybe this would go in here as a stuffy. So, I'm super excited to start doing some stuffies. And now, obviously, you can just stick these in here like this. You can put a pocket if you want. Make it your own. I'm just giving you some ideas. And you could absolutely just leave this in here, or you could put a pocket, make a double one to put 3 pockets, whatever you want to do. But I just thought this was super sweet just to fold it over like this. Now, you can absolutely staple. And what I had in mind was putting some papers in here. You know how, like, the old letters where, you know, how you have the old letters and they're wrapped with twine and they're wrapped with lace and you know, they're meant to be a memory. Do you get what I'm saying? So we're kind of making a memory notelet. How about that? So there's no pockets, you know, they just stuff it in there. It's like a trifold, and then they just wrap it several times. And you know, I can just see, you know, my grandmother, you know, undoing the bow and, you know, going through the papers and putting them back and, you know, wrapping them around, you know, that type of thing. So if you want a button, to actually, put on the front here, you can sew a button, or if you want to, make your own little, like those envelopes that have the little, I cannot think, the circle with the string. You can make one of those and then wrap it. But for today, I can put a button here if I want to, but I want to leave this flat as possible because I'm going to stick it in a traveler's notebook journal. So I want to leave it flat. So what I'm going to do, I will put a staple in it. I may just put some of these in here, make it like a little book, and staple it to this little trifold. So I have these, and there was one that says something on it. I wanted it for the cover to go, you know, the front. And then there was another one that I kind of wanted to use. Let's see. I kind of wanted to do something, you know, like this one. So I want to save those two. And I absolutely could use this because you could absolutely journal down like the day and journal with scripture, or journal your time in and out of work. Or here, this is even better. You know, you could journal the scriptures and things like that. And I'm just going to cut this down to what I need. You know, there's all kinds of papers that you can put in here. You can decide whether or not to bind it to the actual piece or not. You can do that if you want to. I may bind it, I don't know, because these would be super cute to put in their prayer pockets as well. So I may not want to put the staple in there, because if I ship it, of course, you know, I try not to use any staples when I ship, because the post office, they make it stuck in their machines. I do have this multi-corner patch. I absolutely love this. Let me check. Let's see which one this is. If it's medium. No, it is the large. Yeah, it's the large that's going to fit. So, I got this for my anniversary, which my hubby got it for me, and I'm super excited. And see, that fits right there. So let me do this other one. We'll line it up the best I can here. And I'm just going to add some things, you know, especially if, you know, these will be cute to go in scrub pockets as well. If you have someone who's in the medical field, or, you know, someone who takes a lot of notes or something like that, jots down their thoughts or their, you know, their messages, their dreams or whatever, just to tuck this away somewhere, and it, you know, in a pocket or in a purse or whatever. And it would be enough, you know, you could put enough pieces for, you know, a month or so. Okay, so this I want to be front. And I kind of just want to put just some junk in there just for fun. And then I'm going to fold my paper. I don't need this anymore. Let me get this off. I'll fold my papers. And I'm just wanting to use the lined spaces. But since I may staple this in, I kind of want to come up and get some of this white. Does that make any sense? So we can trace it